When I got to mile 17 of the Marine Corps Marathon, I realized a few things about myself that I previously did not know. I realized that I was probably going to be okay with killing someone in exchange for a Cliff Bar. But mostly I realized I was in a bit of trouble because I felt completely overwhelmed and was totally alone. And it felt like even my own mind had turned against me because the only thoughts I seemed to have were thoughts about pain and self-doubt. Voices in my head were like, this is hard. Dude, you're not strong enough. Yeah, I don't know why my internal monologue is narrated by the cast of Gossip Girl, but the most disturbing thing in my head, though, was this voice that kept saying, just give up. And at this moment, though, there was another voice. Now, before I go any further, I should correct a frequent misconception. Looking at me, you may not realize this, but I am not a professional athlete. Okay, that's not meant to be a laugh line, but all right. I was not an amateur running enthusiast. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express the night before this marathon. I say all this so you understand that when I got to mile 17 of the marathon, I hit the wall hard because my body had gone further than it ever thought possible. At the same time, though, my mind has to try and explain to my body that we have almost 10 more miles to go. When my body gets this message, it gets very upset, then it gets angry, and then it gets organized. And it speaks to me with one voice. Hi, I'm Pain. I represent Local 381, the international brotherhood of your ankles, your feet, your knees, your shoulders, your back, your head, and that thing that dangles in the back of your throat. Nobody knows what the hell it's called, but we're all in agreement. We've discussed it, and we all agree that you got to cut this shit out. Or else this is going to get ugly. Capiche? Now, as I said, there's another voice in my head, and that's pride. At this particular moment, I smell worse than a landfill, and I just got passed by the team from the local nursing home. Pride does not have a lot to work with here, but it's going to try. Hey, don't give up now. Imagine how you'll feel when you're done. Won't that be neat? Yay! So I go a little further, and I only succeed in making Pain even more upset. And Pain escalates what had been a labor dispute and escalates it to a full-blown hostage crisis. All right, tough guy, you listen. You stop right now, or I'll blow this kneecap. Click, I'll do it. And just as I'm about to give in to pain and stop, I learn an important lesson. Do not make pride angry. Because in an instant, that voice that sounded like an obnoxious Richard Simmons, R.I.P., suddenly becomes the meanest Marine drill instructor they ever let crawl out of Paris Island. Please do not tell me you are seriously thinking of stopping now, maggot. If you think after all those months of training, giving up your Saturdays, running in the rain, I am about to let you quit now, you are sorely mistaken, mister. I try and reason with pride. We've come this far. That's an accomplishment. And I gotta tell you, I'm in a lot of pain here. This last point just makes pride even angrier. Pain? You want pain? I will give you pain. Tell me, how did it feel just a few months ago when you got your hand slammed in the door of a Lincoln Town car? Now tell me, how did it feel over 20 years ago when you spilled your drink on your pants and your date told everybody at freshman homecoming that you had wet yourself? Oh, gosh, that still hurts. I thought you were here to help me. I am here to help because I am here to remind you one simple thing. Him, Pain, he is temporary. He is gone later tonight after a couple Motrin. But me, I am with you forever. So you think about that and how you're going to feel today, tomorrow, and any time you think about this marathon for the rest of your life if you quit now. I know. I really do want to finish this. I just don't think I got it in me. I don't think I'm strong enough. And to that, pride just seems to smile and say, oh, you are strong enough, and I'm going to show you are. Because aren't you the man who once drove 500 miles in one weekend on a total of 4 hours of sleep while battling the flu just so you could stand next to your best friend on the most important day of his life? And are you not the man who busted his ass for 4 long years so you could graduate with honors and hear your mother say it was one of the proudest days of her life? And are you not the man who 6 months ago could barely run around the block, and yet you've gone nearly 20 miles? If you could do any one of those things, you can surely shut up and give me a few more steps. So I go a little further, thinking, maybe pride's right. Maybe I can do this. Until just like that little engine, I realized, no. Can do this. I know I can do this. Not only that, I am going across that finish line if I got to do it with 2 broken legs and a hangnail. And in that moment, pain doesn't matter anymore. And when I see the finish line there, I don't even hear pain anymore. I don't hear pain. I don't hear self-doubt. I barely even hear the crowd. And when I hit the finish line, with the last bit of strength I have, I raise my arms up over my head. And I hear only one thing, and that's pride. Thank you.